Hello and welcome. My name is Njeri. On this channel, we talk about storytelling, excellence, and entrepreneurship. If those sound like topics you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and let us know. Is that entrepreneurship is a journey of sacrifices. If you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you're nodding your head and saying, yes, Jesus. Because being an entrepreneur means sacrificing almost everything just to see your dream come true. And this is the worst part about it. Before you can earn the rights of an entrepreneur, before your business is sustainable enough for you to step away, you have to put in so much time, so much effort, and so many resources just to keep things running. And that is why today I'd like to share with you some sacrifices I've made as an entrepreneur, and hopefully you can relate with some of them. Let's get started. The first sacrifice you have to make as an entrepreneur is with your time. The most valuable asset or investment you can make to your business is the time you give it. And most of the time, you have to put in more time than everybody else. You have to do maybe 60 to 80 hours a week just to get things running. This means that unlike a 9 to 5, you're not confined to a 40-hour week. You're working weekends, you're working very late into the night, you're working very early in the morning. And this is just to keep you running. Sometimes most of the work you put into your business is even before you make a profit, which feels like it is literally draining your soul. So if you're thinking about entrepreneurship, prepare to give up your time. The second and most painful sacrifice is giving up a regular income. If you enjoy getting a check or some money in your account at the end of every month, surprise, surprise, in entrepreneurship, that will not happen for a long time. You have to be ready to manage your finances as they come. There's nobody who will guarantee you an income, and it takes a lot of time to build your business's income to a point where it is stable and predictable. What happens with entrepreneurship is that 1 month you make zero, another month you make so much, and the hardest thing is balancing between the good months and the bad months. In the good months, whatever you make, you have to plan for how you will stretch it across several months so that in case you have a couple of bad months, you're able to survive. And this is really, really hard in the beginning because you will find that jobs are very few and far wide apart. Like you will go 3-4 months without making any money and then get a good check. And sometimes you will go for those 3 months and still get a very low paying job, but you don't have any option but to take it and just survive until you can get to a point where the jobs are coming in as regularly as you would like them to. The other sacrifice you have to make is paid holidays. If you enjoy having your guaranteed public holidays and guaranteed weekends, guaranteed annual leave of up to a month, then entrepreneurship will surprise you because you cannot afford to take as much time from your business. And especially in the first couple of years, you cannot afford to take a month off from your business. You cannot afford to not work throughout all the holidays. You might get a holiday once in a while, but most of the time, and especially if you're working with clients who are not from your country, your holidays may not align with their holidays, so you'll find yourself working on what should be your holiday. So this might upset your expectations of paid holidays. And unfortunately, every time you leave your business and you go on holiday, this means that you're leaving your clients hanging. That means that whatever activities, income generating activities you are working on are on hold. So it will be a holiday, but it will not be a paid holiday. It takes time to get to a point where the business is running sustainably enough for you to manage it remotely or even when on holiday. Which brings me to another point is even when you're on holiday, you cannot be completely off. You are constantly checking in with your business, calling, responding to complaints, responding to requests. So even if you're on holiday, it's not a holiday per se because half the time you have to check in with your business. Another sacrifice that you have to make is the flexibility and convenience that comes with insurance policies under a paid job. When you have a regular salaried job, you have an insurance policy where you pay on a monthly basis. Because of the number of people in the organization, the insurance company can extend this courtesy to everybody in the organization. When you're out here, you have to make all your payments in lump sums. So this means that you have to save enough to make that huge payment all at once, and that can be really expensive. And especially when you're starting out, I know for a lot of people, insurance is not an option, and it's not even affordable for a lot of people. I wish insurance companies were a bit more flexible with entrepreneurs. That is not the reality. So that means that if you want the convenience of a private insurer, you have to be ready to check out a significant amount of money to get that coverage that you want. And this is especially harder for entrepreneurs who have families. If you're on your own, the insurance premium can be around 30,000 to 40,000 Kenyan shillings. If you have a family, then you have to multiply that number by the number of people in your family, which then immediately increases your cost and makes it a lot harder to make a lump sum payment. Another sacrifice that you have to make is giving up a disposable income. A disposable income is any leftover money you have after meeting your monthly expenses, including your housing, your savings, your insurance, your food, whatever you send to your parents, whatever project you have that requires monthly payments. Whatever money is left is money that you might decide to put in a savings account for future investment or just save for a rainy day. When you're an entrepreneur, every single coin you make will most likely be reinvested into the business. This means that it's very hard for you to sort of have the flexibility of a disposable income. A lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, it's hard for you to even have a savings account. It takes time and a lot of effort to just create and put aside money for your savings, which I know a lot of entrepreneurs will attest to. It can take you between a year or even up to 3 years for you to be at a point where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable, and at a point where I can start putting money aside. The other thing you have to give up is your pride. Let me tell you, in entrepreneurship, you cannot afford to have pride. Everything that you currently think or tell yourself, I would never do that, or I might never find myself doing it, when you become an entrepreneur, you have to do it. For example, one case for me is when I started out as an entrepreneur, I promised myself I would never go back home. Shock on me, I think I went back home twice or thrice just because things are not working out as I hoped they would. And for most people, it's financial reasons. I know for some people, it's just the loneliness and the emotional baggage that comes with entrepreneurship. You feel like you can't afford to be alone, and so you need that confine or that community of family just to survive, which is okay. Another pride you have to let go is borrowing. A lot of times when you start out, you're like, I will never borrow money. My business will be sustainable enough to sustain itself. Unfortunately or fortunately, you have to learn how to borrow. You have to learn how to make your repayments on time. Debt, you have to learn how to make debt your friend. And it can eat into your pride if you're the kind of person who swore you would never take out a loan or you would never get into debt, because the reality of entrepreneurship is that it humbles you. I know I'm still learning how to navigate this journey, and I hope you are too. So if you're further along on the journey and you've made some sacrifices that you think, hey, you still have to leave, I'd love to hear from you. If you're still early on in your journey and you've made some sacrifices, I'd also love to hear from you. Please comment with the sacrifices that you've had to make in your journey below, and let us just keep exchanging and keep connecting. When you're at it, hit the subscribe button. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button, and let us connect again soon. Until next time, bye bye.